Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
We do our best each and every week to keep it tasteful, but discretion is advised.
Now, enjoy the show.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
This week on the show, some nasty offshore winds may have wreaked havoc on the anglers, but the Ocean City Shark Tournament rolled on. We're at the scales. Plus, learn how this tournament's focus on conservation is changing the rules. Then, the chance to see some monster sharks wade in wasn't the only attraction at this year's tournament. We'll head under the tent for a tour of this first in 32-year event. And hunting may be on the back burner, but late spring and early summer is a vital time of the year for deer. We'll have a conversation with the experts and learn results of a very important recent study.
Right now on Outdoors Delmarva.
There he is! Blue lobster.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. And now, here are Mike Parker and Captain Willie Dice.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker.
And I'm Captain Willie Dice. Mike, we're here in the West Ocean City Harbor for the 32nd annual Ocean City Shark Tournament.
Yeah, Willie, one of those events that we look forward to each and every summer season here. And we've had some real luck catching some nice makos on film over the past couple of years. Really something to see one of these big sharks up close and personal. Though, Willie, this year as we stand here on day 2 of this 3-day tournament, well, we haven't seen any sharks at the scales yet. And organizers seem to tell us that they think this weather might have something to do with it.
That's right, Mike. It's practically blowing a gale here in the harbor, so it's really ripping offshore out of the northeast. But we haven't given up hope yet.
No, we haven't given up hope. Still plenty of hours for those competitive fishermen to bring something into the scales. So we wait.
The Ocean City Shark Tournament has a storied history. And for 32 years running, the event has attracted the area's premier shark anglers. And the weigh scales in West Ocean City have been a destination for early summer visitors.
I just think it's that mystique, you know, you don't even have to be a fisherman to have a fascination in sharks. And if you are a fisherman at the same time, you can combine fishing with the fascination of, you know, going out and trying to catch something or encounter something that's not just a little bit bigger than you, maybe a lot bigger than you.
So, when windy offshore conditions forecasted for the tournament weekend posed a real threat, organizers were scrambling for a way to keep lines in the water, and the event alive. After all, high winds may be a challenge, but it's not a death sentence for shark fishing. Check this video out, taken just 2 weeks ago while filming aboard the Fish Finder with Captain Mark Sampson off the coast of Ocean City. We encountered some serious seas, but by day's end, boating both a mako and a tiger shark was more than worth toughing it out for the anglers aboard. With the unprecedented move to push the tournament back by a day, this 3-day event would now begin on a Friday and end on a Sunday. And with just 11 boats registered, the competition would be tighter than ever, but the chances of winning, greater than ever too. With anglers allowed to fish just 2 of the 3 days, Day 1's winds would prove too fierce for most of the field. But not for the crew of the No Shop Talk, which would report the catch and release of a few small sharks, and end Day 1 atop the release division with 4 points. Day 2 would prove more active, with 8 boats now participating, and among them was the crew of the Lucky One.
Tell me what you guys encountered out there as far as sharks.
As soon as we got set up, we didn't even get the chum bags in the water and the sharks started coming into the boat. So we had a lot of sharks around the boat. We were just feeding them. They were hitting. It went real good, real quick. And then but one of our mates got very sick, so we had to run him in, and it killed a lot of time. So we probably would have caught a lot more fish if we'd have had more time out there today.
So at the end or the middle of day 2 right now, you guys are actually in first place for the release division. How's it feel?
Feels exciting. Awesome. All right. it was worth all that weaving and bobbing today.
All right, well, wish you guys luck.
Thank you very much.
Hang out at the scales and see how things unfold.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
The crew of the Lucky One.
But even with anglers upbeat as Day 2 rolled to a close, still with no sharks brought back to the scales, it was definitely a lesson in shark fishing. and the changing face of the sport.
And we bring in our friend Captain Mark Sampson again with the Ocean City Shark Tournament. Mark, how's it going?
Oh, real good. We got a nice crowd here. We're looking forward to the rest of the tournament.
Well, we'll see what happens, but the one thing we do love about this tournament is that it combines those passions for sport fishing and conservation, of course, with the release division. Now, one thing that you're taking part in as a shark expert is a study that has to do with a certain type of tackle used to catch sharks. What is it?
Yeah, this is something new this year. We're working in conjunction with the Maryland DNR, and this is actually a circle hook study for sharks.
All right.
So on our charters every day, what we're doing is we're putting out 2 dedicated lines, and we'll start off the day usually with the conventional circle hook, okay? And that's what we normally use for sharks. And of course, that's a hook that's designed to hook the fish in the corner of the mouth rather than down in the gut. Right. But to prove, I guess, or to disprove the fact that that is a good hook to use for sharks, both for the hooking of the fish, but also the conservation of sharks that are released, we're also using the J hook, the standard hook. Right. Every time we get a bite or a hookup, we record it. And by the end of the summer, we hope to have quite a few hundred, incidences and recordings of this, and we'll, hopefully see at the end of the whole study which is the best hook, not just for catching sharks, but also for the conservation of sharks.
On day 3, with conditions slightly better but still not ideal, the overall shark tally would remain intact from the previous 2 days. But a stroke of good fortune by the crew of the Triple Threat would provide a moment of humor. Unlike their second-place Mako boated at the tournament last year, which awed spectators, this year, this die-hard crew would be the first and only to deliver in the bluefish category, and if nothing else, a memorable weigh-in. As the tournament came to a close, while the Triple Threat would take home bluefish gold, it was the crew of the Lucky One that would be crowned champs at the 32nd annual Ocean City Shark Tournament. And while for the first time ever, the big hook at the scales was never tested, disappointment is a word you'll never hear from these guys.
Get outdoors, Delmarva!
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, hunting season may be far from our minds, but the summer season is a vital time of year for deer. We'll have a conversation with the experts. But first, did you know? The Ocean City Shark Tournament also crowns a champion in the youth division. Who is it? We'll meet him when we come back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Shorts Marine. Shooter's Choice. And Goodies Marine. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
Did you know? The Ocean City Shark Tournament also crowns a youth champion. This year it was Sean DeWitt fishing aboard the Restless Lady.
Well, it was just basically a lot of pressure and intenseness. That was it. It was packed full of excitement, I'll give it that.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker. Well, we're here in this late spring, early summer time of year, and deer may be the furthest thing from our minds. Well, when it's warm out and a lot of us are fishing and doing other summer activities, the deer population is also pretty busy, and it's a critical time. So joining us right now is Joe Rogerson, wildlife biologist with DenRec, deer specialist. Joe?
Yes.
Always good to get together with you two, and talk about whitetail deer. So this time of year, crucial.
Yes, it is. We're about a week shy, or a week after our peak fawning season, which is the last week of May, first week of June. About 80% of the fawns in Delaware are born during those 2 weeks.
Let's talk about fawns. We know where deer bed down. There's always a possibility of coming across a fawn, and that can create some conflicts that you might have some tips for.
It does. We get calls regularly from concerned, citizens in Delaware about finding what they think is an abandoned fawn. In almost every instance, these animals are not abandoned. a doe, after she gives birth, typically to 2 fawns, she separates them and has them bed down by themselves throughout most of the day. So if you find one that you think is abandoned, it's not. Please leave it alone, you know, to take a glance at it and slowly back away. If you do really think it's abandoned, please give us a call and we can figure out what's going on. Our number is 735-3600. Ask to speak with me.
We talked about the doe and fawn relationship this time of year, but boy, people love to see big bucks. In the spring and summer, if you run across a buck, what are they going to look like right about now, Joe?
Right about now, they'd be starting to branch out. You know, certainly not fully developed this time of year. They're starting to form their bachelor groups. So where you see one out in the soybean field, you typically might see several others. We are in the early stages of the antler development, which will wrap up late August, early September with full antler development by then.
Look at those big bucks. We saw quite a few of them. As we know, I think 50% or so of the annual deer harvest happens in that week and a half to 2 week shotgun season here in the state of Delaware. For those of you watching right now, if you want to turn away for just a second, that's okay, but we're showing some video right now of deer heads, which then turned into very important samples for you to talk about chronic wasting disease.
Yep, exactly. Every year we visit deer processors, not only Mark's, but several others around the state, right, and we collect information from the hunter's harvest. The tissues we need to do that actually are from the brain area of the deer. We bring the heads back to our lab, we take our samples that we need, send them off to a lab. We just received the results from that study that we did. We collected 611 samples last year and all were negative, thank goodness.
That's good.
Because there's no evidence that it's transmissible to people, which is a good thing. But if a deer does get the disease, it will die. There's currently no cure for it or anything like that. So we've never found any CWD in Delaware. We started sampling in 2002. We're almost up to 5,000 samples since then.
Well, it's good to know that you guys are on top of it and pass on those results. Deer as a species are one of our treasured wildlife animals here, and so just to learn about what they're doing every time of year while we're at the beach, they're out doing all sorts of great stuff too. And we look forward to talking to you more, and we'll catch up with you in the fall.
Likewise, I look forward to it.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, we're headed back to West Ocean City where folks were getting outdoors under the tent. Plus, you won't want to miss this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic.
Scorchy's Corner Classics are sponsored by Hook 'em and Cook 'em Outfitters.
Jimmy Bowden of Assawoman, Virginia was born 200 years after his time.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker, and we're back here at the Ocean City Shark Tournament this year in West Ocean City, where, well, at the moment, the hook is empty. Fortunately, this year, the weigh scales aren't the only attraction here at the tournament. Just across the parking lot, my partner, Captain Willie Dykes, is standing by to tell us more about it. Willie?
That's right, Mike. This year we've teamed up with the organizers with the Outdoors Delmarva Expo tent. We even have our own banner here. Inside there are exhibits and displays to educate the folks here about the outdoors. Let's take a look inside. If you ever wondered what a horseshoe crab was like, this is the place to find out. Let's take a look. Is this a male or a female?
This is a female.
How do you tell?
Okay, you see the claws?
Yeah.
See the first one, the first set of legs here?
Yes.
They're claws.
Okay.
On the male, if you look here, see the first set?
Oh yeah.
It looks like a boxing glove.
Yes.
Okay, that's the easiest way to tell the difference.
I'll be doggone. That's a fascinating creature. And right next to it on this table, let's take a look at these shark jaws here. Unfolding new ones all the time. See all the ones that are folded back that'll be rotating forward. You can see what a mean eating machine this guy is here. Sandy Smith is with the Coastal Bays program. Hi, Sandy.
Hey, nice to see you.
What are you here to tell us about on the Coastal Bays?
Well, we're here to tell you a lot about the bays between Assateague and Ocean City. And we've got all sorts of programs going on. A very important one, picking up trash and cleaning up after your dog. And we also have information about Skimmer Island, where we have endangered birds that have nested. They've hatched, and we're trying to keep people away from the island. Okay. And we figured this is a great venue to promote this because a lot of boaters are coming through. And this island is only accessible by boating.
That's right, just north of the bridge up
Yep.
there. Yeah. Yep. Here at the expo, it's kind of hard to ignore the 60-foot whale in the room. Let's go inside and take a look. What species does this model represent, Amber?
This species here is a model of our sei whale. This is true to size. So this is how big their vertebrae would actually be. And right down here, this is an exact size of what their skull would be. So you can see the eye cavity right here, and then this would be the top of their mouth, and then the bottom.
Well, Mike, from shark jaws to a horseshoe crab, there's a lot to see and do here. And we're glad the Ocean City Shark Tournament let us take part with this Outdoors Delmarva Expo.
And now it's time to check in with an old friend. Here's this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic.
Jimmy Bowden of Assawoman, Virginia, was born 200 years after his time. He is Delmarva's answer to what we imagined Daniel Boone was like. Jimmy Bowden, a native Chincotegawan carver, had spent a lifetime among friends and neighbors who could go down to the creeks and bays and dip dinner from the waters, whose every deal was sealed only with a handshake. Then came those from other cultures in great numbers. He could not lick 'em, he would not join 'em, so he left 'em. For Jimmy Bowden, you see, was not into change. He loves peace, solitude, and unspoiled nature.
It's just so quiet. It's so nice over here. Got no horns a blowing. I got no tourists here. I can fire a gun anywhere through here.
Jimmy is describing his 12-acre spread of highland, marsh, and woods in the wilds of Assawoman. He moved there a few years back. It was paradise refound.
There's a lot of deer around here. You see deer back there all the time.
Jimmy Bowden's paradise has not the elegance of a European garden. It is not embellished with teak love seats or gazebos. It is better than that. It is nature and the raw.
I don't carve as many fish. A lot of decoys I carve them, I use them. You know, I'll hunt over them when I get to, I sell them.
Jimmy Bowden has seen to it that his life will never again come up for reassessment. The sun, the creek, his dogs, the wildlife, and the contentment of just being there. Scorchy Taws, wandering our Delmarvelous land for WBOC News.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva. No need to dread that long ride to the beach anymore. We'll show you how you can ride in comfort in the 2012 Subaru Outback.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Coming up on the next episode of Outdoors Delmarva.
Well, you might think of the New England states as prime lobster catching territory, but here in Ocean City, Maryland, a group of lobstermen came in with a pretty rare find. Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker, and we're back here at the Ocean City Shark Tournament this week, and when you're talking about sharks, you're talking about a fish that is sleek, fast, the most feared fish in the ocean. Oh, when you're talking cars, take a look at the 2012 Subaru Outback. It's sleek, it's quick, and the most comfortable way to get you to the beach this summer. And joining me right now to talk about the Subaru Outback is Brian Kang with Gateway Subaru. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Always good to see you. We love visiting you guys in any season, but summer is special. And with an Outback, well, you can have an adventure just about every weekend.
You're absolutely correct, Mike. It's not only rugged enough that you can take it on the beach, but you can take it anywhere with symmetrical all-wheel drive. Plus, inside, it's a lap of luxury. In the wintertime, you're going to love these heated seats. And in the summertime, you will love even more the dual climate control. You can set the settings different than your passenger.
This thing is luxurious. Leather-wrapped steering wheel, awesome stereo. Even inside, a space to plug in that MP3 player. When you're driving this summer, you'll have all the tunes you need.
Even the rear view mirror has a special features. Compass, home link, also known as garage door opener, and also, which I really love, a backup camera. You'll love this power sunroof. But we also got to think about people in the back that's riding in the back seat. Let me show you. 60-40 split. And also on the long trips, you can just sit back, and relax because the back seat does recline.
Brian, with a Subaru, you can haul lots of gear on top. Tell me about these customizable roof rails.
Very easy to use. They all come standard with cross rails. Basically all you do is touch of a button, you lift, swivel, and boom.
Kayaks, canoes, crazy cousin from out of town. Just kidding. All right, Brian Kang with Gateway Subaru. No doubt in my mind, the Subaru Outback is the most comfortable way to get to the beach, so you can enjoy that ride for once.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking for a vehicle that's safe, affordable, and has that symmetrical all-wheel drive to get you anywhere this summer, look no further than Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And we'll be right back.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, your latest viewer videos and pictures.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by Shorts Marine. This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Shorts Marine. Shooter's Choice. And Goody's Marine.
It's time now to take a look at some of the pictures and videos sent in by our own Outdoors Delmarva viewers.
Hey, Mike Parker and Captain Willie are hanging out here at Frontier Town in Ocean City, Maryland, camping with the family. We're in from Pennsylvania. Love your show.
Viewer Sean Elk may not be here year-round, but he says he keeps up with the show via our website and Facebook page. Sean, his wife Jess, and daughters Alexis and Sarah hosted friends John and Andrea Osterberry and their sons Johnny and Dane at their campsite at Frontier Town in Worcester County. The kids had fun catching small fish from the creek and roasting marshmallows over the campfire. And another video comes our way from Captain Ted Molinier from the Anglers Fishing Center in Lewis. A few weeks back, when the black drum were biting hard out on Delaware Bay, Ted and the gang did some catching.
Oh, he's got the leader. There he is, there he is.
Check out these shots of drum caught both before dusk and a few more after dark. Now that's how you fill the boat. Well, we love sharing your outdoors videos and pictures here on the show, so please keep them coming. Just email me at mparker@wboc.com. And make sure to like us on Facebook, too. And you can post your videos and pictures right to the Outdoors Delmarva Facebook page.
All right, Willie, well, we just wanted to take a minute here to thank our friends from the Ocean City Shark Tournament and say thank you for making us part of this year's event.
That's right, Mike. We learn more about sharks every time and looking forward to next year. So until next time, from my buddy Mike Parker, I'm Captain Willie Dyke, reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.